So a lot of people haven't seen this, but we actually got the trailer for Act 2. It starts off with Savika losing a fight against her barber, staring at the statue of Vander. It's interesting how Savika's philosophies are a unique blend of both Vanders and Silco's, refusing to give up her own people, but perspective enough to prepare for war. Then we get a shot of the Firelight base with Echo drawn on the mural. Obviously, the Firelights think Echo is dead, and it's so funny how they didn't care about drawing Heimerdinger. Since we also get a shot of Jace finally looking cool, here's my guess. We know there will be a time skip or have some time pass as Vi grows out her hair fighting in the pits. So it's possible Jace grew out his facial hair, but at the end of Act 1, Jace, Echo, and Heimerdinger were trapped inside of the not wild rune, and we see Jace struggling to get out as he tries to smash it with his hammer. My guess is that Heimerdinger, Echo, and Jace are trapped inside the Arcane dimension and stuck within time itself. Echo's design in League of Legends is the boy who shattered time, so it's possible the three of them are going to time dilate. Going full schizo mode, I think Jace will be placed forward in time, Heimerdinger backwards, and Echo in the present. But that's just headcanon, I might be wrong. We also have the shots of Heimerdinger working on an experiment which happens in the future, so maybe he's trying to defuse the Arcane. And Bessa talks about the anger and sorrow, so she's probably mauling about her daughter getting kidnapped. Caitlyn stares at the memorial statue of her mother, who is followed by Maggie. Caitlyn's hair looks short here, but I can't tell if that's because of the cape. Do want to mention how her eyes do look a lot softer here. I can't wait for the Caitlyn redemption. I also really don't like how close Caitlyn and Maggie are getting. We then see Jinx holding the Hex Gem, so I guess she didn't lose it against her fight with Vi when Savika turned the vacuum on. We see Emo Vi in the Pit Fighter ring, and then all the Zonite forces together with blue hair uniting under Jinx. It's so cool to see how Jinx filling Piltover with colorful smoke was a sort of demonstration of Zaun's power, which inspired the lanes to get together and fight for the half of the city they believe in. Aside from the blue hair and makeup, the Zonite forces also wear an X on their chest just like Jinx. The Firelights are also present at this meeting, so it seems like without Echo, with increasing pressure from topside, they joined together with Zaun. Savika talks about how Silco spent his whole life trying to unite the Undercity, which is plain false as he was literally killing Zaunites. Savika worked for Silco on the hope of an independent Zaun, but it's worth mentioning how she is reframing Silco's action in Season 1 to sway the people in working together. Savika also brings up how Jinx is now a symbol, made especially clear with how her attack on Piltover inspired children and folks of all kind to pick up the fight. After that, we see Jinx rescuing the prisoners in Stillwater Prison, and it seems like Jinx doesn't get captured. I was always a fan of this because Jinx getting imprisoned would undermine the war effort. The people inside also crowd around Jinx in another showing of solidarity. After that, we see Jinx fighting Warwick, who is definitely not Vander, and he starts bleeding from the nipples. Then the cloaked figure steps on a button which triggers explosions around them. I guess that this confirms that the cloaked figure is not Jinx because Jinx has the boot visor thing on her right foot and does not have a screw on the front. With how short the shadow person is and how small her foot is, I'm saying this is Isha. And if you don't believe me, then here's Isha's foot, so you can go cry about it. Then they show Mel escaping the shadow blood dimension, and she gets pulled away by a thorny vine. Homeless Jace shows up, and his clothing is very different, so is he disguising himself to go to the lanes and trying to get back with Victor? After Gay Viking pulls out his rune spear, and I'm curious how this is not considered hex tech. It seems like Mbessa is leading an invasion into Victor's cult. Also, Jinx is joining in on this fight, so we might finally be getting our Jinx-Victor team up. Then we see Isha getting pulled out by what's possibly Savika, and Vi starts fighting Warwick, which I literally predicted when we didn't get any trailers, and all we knew was that Vi turned emo. So common Malphone dub. Stuff glazing aside, I want to comment how Isha is quite a capable little girl. She has the fire in her eyes that we only see from Jinx, so she's a worthy successor. I see a theory by Chris that it's possible Jinx dies and Isha becomes the Jinx we know from League of Legends, which explains the finger thing. But also that feels too much like Joker 2 fully a poo, so I don't know how I feel about that. Also, hopefully Vi kills Warwick here, but I hope they also make him feel fleshed out. Other than that, I should have the Act 1 analysis out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. That's all for me. I'll catch up with you guys in the next one, yeah?